Pushing a new record to the browser's history stack is great, but how do we actually use that data? And to do so, we use the popstate event. Now, before we continue on, I want you to remember we are not executing any feature detection. We will do that when we get started on our final project. But for now, we're just focusing on the methods and events that you need to be aware of. So we'll do this right down here below. We will attach an event listener to the window object. So add event listener, and we're going to listen for the new popstate event. And when that occurs, we're going to execute this function. So this function will be run whenever the back or forward button is pressed and the history is directing to a page that is still part of the current page. So in that case, we're not directing to an entirely different site like NetTouch, we're directing to a different state of the current page. As in this case, I hit back, the page is not reloading, we're simply mocking the effect of a back or forward press. So for now, let's simply console.log the event and see what we get here. Once again, I'm going to reload the page and I'm going to open up Chrome Developer Tools. And I want you to pay attention to something if I reload this page. Even though we have not pressed the forward or back button, in Chrome, the popstate event fires immediately when the page loads because the browser treats that as a state change. And if you think about it, that sort of makes sense. But still, that's not going to occur in any other browsers, at least at the time of this writing. So if I open up the popstate event, and you can see here, a couple of things we want to pay attention to is state right here. Now, because Chrome is executing this when the page loads, state is equal to false. However, when we actually hit the back or forward button and there is a new record that we pushed, the state will be equal to the data that we saved. So let's try it out. I'm going to clear this. We have pushed a new state. We know we did that in the previous lesson. So I should be able to hit back. And when I hit that, this event is going to fire and we're going to console.log the event. Let's try it out. I hit back and there we are. That fired. I'll open this up. And now we have this hook that we can work with. Now again though, the popstate event is not handling the process of changing the visuals of the page. It's simply providing us a hook. So we can hook into that and then we can manually change the state. So for example, in the next lesson when we work on our project, we'll click on each of these images and load them. Then when we press the back button, that popstate event is not going to revert to the previous image that we clicked. Instead, we hook into that event and then we call the necessary method that will load the applicable image. So we'll get started on our project in the next lesson.